As scientists search for planets around other stars, we are reminded of how unique our Earth actually is. In their book, The Privileged Planet, authors J. Richards and Guillermo Gonzalez describe how at least 20 conditions had to be just right, otherwise life would not be able to exist on our planet as we know it.
We find that we need to be at the right location in the galaxy, that we're inside the circumstellar habitable zone of a star, that we're in a planetary system with giant planets that can shield the inner planets from too many comet impacts, that we're orbiting the right kind of star that's not too cool or not too hot, that we're on a planet that has a moon that can stabilize the tilt of its axis, that we're on a planet that's a terrestrial planet, a planet that has a crust that's just thick enough that it can maintain plate tectonic activity, that has enough heat in its interior that it's still circulating its liquid iron core so it can generate a magnetic field, that it has an atmosphere that has enough oxygen to allow for complex organisms to survive, that it has enough water and enough continents to allow for the diversity of life for an active biosphere that you need to support complex creatures such as ourselves. All these factors have to be met at one place and time in the galaxy if you're going to have a planet as habitable as the Earth, which you need for complex and even technological life.
The trailer goes on to talk about how improbable it is that all these factors exist in the same planet where there just happens to be intelligent beings such as ourselves that are able to look out at the universe with a sense of wonder and curiosity and try and figure things out. There is nothing in nature that evokes the same sense of wonder and curiosity as a total solar eclipse. But there is a major coincidence not mentioned in the trailer that is at work here. Here we have the sun and the moon, familiar objects in the sky. Every now and then they line up just perfectly. And it turns out that the moon's disk is exactly the same size as the sun's disk to exactly cover it up. If the moon was any smaller or farther away, it wouldn't completely cover up the sun's disk, which would obscure that glorious corona that comes into view at the time of totality. If the moon was any bigger or closer to the Earth, it would obscure too much of the sun, and we wouldn't see that corona either. So I believe that this coincidence was actually created by God for our enjoyment and for scientific discovery. I bet you there's going to be some atheists watching the eclipse tomorrow, and in spite of themselves, they're just going to go, "Oh my God," when totality begins. It's an amazing spectacle. More than that, though, there are some scientific discoveries that were only possible to be made during the time of a total solar eclipse. And so I believe God put it there so that we could discover these scientific facts. I'll let you look up more. I need to get going. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Wyoming watching the eclipse from down there, about 20 minutes after Andrew Jones and his wife and friends, as they see it from the top of a mountain in Idaho. When we get back, we'll be sure to share our stories and pictures with you. But until then, thank God for the amazing coincidence of the solar eclipse that He put up there just for us.